Right, I grew up in a refugee family. Can my family stand up? Right, so grew up in this refugee family, and that was shaped by the Khmer Rouge genocide. Right, our family it carried stories through silence, sacrifice, long work hours, and survival. So when I was young, I did not have the words for what I was witnessing. I did not know the terms like PTSD or intergenerational trauma itself. I only knew that my da, that's what we call my grandpa itself, and the rest of the older family members carried pain from war, and that my yay, who's my grandma, carried him through it with love. So over those times itself, those memories shaped why I chose medicine, why I chose psychiatry, why healing has always felt personal to me. So this personal piece is for my da, for my family. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I love you, sis. Our ancestors and everyone who turned survival into purpose. It's called I Still Remember. You can play that in the background. So thank you. I still remember those cries, the kind that sent chills down my spine before I had the words to explain the pain in my family's eyes. I still remember the grown-ups hiding their past, smiling in the sun like darkness didn't last. I still remember Da's night terrors, his body locked, his breath fighting, my yay holding him tight, trying to hug the horror out of his bones with all of her might. I still remember thinking how one man's pain shaped the entire household. How can trauma travel through blood, through silence, through generations unknown? And I still remember learning that the Khmer Rouge genocide was not history, it was his story. It was missing photos, missing birthdays, missing names, missing dads, missing moms, missing sisters, missing brothers, lives we cannot reclaim, lives we cannot bring back. I still remember my dad telling me that the one thing they feared the most was education. They feared the books, they feared the teachers, they feared the questions, they feared the mind that could rise from devastation. I still remember him saying, education is how we flip the story. Turn grief into glory, turn pain into purpose, turn survival into service. And somehow, from everything they try to erase, it became evident that love still leaves a trace. Evidence that the name can survive, that the roots can remain, that even after the fire, the loaves can rise through the rain. A child from a family once forced to run can stand here today beneath the same golden sun. With a white coat on his shoulders, my ancestors in my chest, carrying every sacrifice, every prayer, every dream they never got to express. I carry more than degrees. These letters mean more than just MD. I carried their silence. I carried the fight. I carried the hope they protected through the night. I carried the stories they could barely say. And somehow, these stories carried me all the way to this day. I still remember. Because he's who I do it for. Because his pain, my people's pain, became my purpose. Because our survival made life feel urgent. But today, I do not only remember the cries. I remember the laughter, the food, the music, the light in our eyes. I remember the way that my people found hope, even when history tried to leave us with no more. Hey, that's survival too. That's medicine too. That's the miracle that my family grew. And the whole dog smiling down, seeing we made a way, seeing his grandkids standing tall today. Now we don't need to hide. We are here to stay. Now our people don't need a whisper just to survive. Our voices echo our dream arise. We carried a story once they carried grief. We carried their names where they tried to carry unto buried belief. And no matter how far I go, no matter what doors I enter, no matter what tables I sit at, no matter what futures I get to see, I still remember. But now, I remember forward. I remember with my voice. I remember with my work. I remember with every patient I choose to serve first. I remember so the silence can become song. I remember the pain so I can become strong. I remember so the next generation does not only inherit grief, they inherit hope, they inherit healing, they inherit belief. And today, standing here, I know what God meant when he said education could change the story. Because we turn grief into glory, we turn pain into purpose, we turn survival into service, because we made a way. Because we made a way. Because we made a way. And I still remember.